Okay, here we are. It's the Olympic Museum. We've got Payton Jacobson here, first one of the day. How's everything going so far preparing for this Olympics?
Going good. Just trusting with the training. I'm getting better day by day, and not really doing a countdown. Just going day by day, trying to put all I can into each and every day, and hopefully I put enough work in by the time the time comes.
When was the first time that you sort of had that Olympic dream or that goal or desire to be an Olympian? Do you remember how old you were, or what were the circumstances?
I remember going to the Olympic trials, and it was 2012. I was probably 9 years old. My dad brought me, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't think about being an Olympian or anything, but yeah, I was like, oh, I want to compete at this tournament. And then after my sophomore year of high school, I started going only Greco, and my coach trying to convince me, like, you're going to be an Olympian. He kept telling me that, Coach Bill Colley, and then slowly started realizing, like, yeah, I've got the potential to do it, and then this year came and put myself in a position to do so.
So you're slowly kind of realizing that it could happen. Was there any particular moment where you thought, man, this is like a real thing that can happen, and it can happen in 2024?
Yeah, I was at Northern my freshman year. Wasn't training the best, but I had a close match with Jamel Johnson, I remember. And I was just like, I wasn't training very hard. So I was like, man, if I actually put my whole life into this, I can really make something happen. So yeah, plus with my coach Andy Bisick supporting me, and everyone in the room, Benji Peak and George Sykes, Max Black, they're all working so hard, and they see how hard I work. They're like, yeah, we can really do this thing. And I was just lucky enough to where I made it happen.
What were some of the differences between maybe the way that you were training and then the way that you were training when you went all in and when you really, committed to trying to make that Olympic team?
It was more just taking everything in my life seriously. Rather than just wrestling, it was off the mat. I'd be focusing on my nutrition, focusing on my faith a lot, just focused being a good person in general, and that really made a big step within my wrestling and just my life in general.
A lot of athletes are, wrestlers are trying to decide how much emphasis to put into folk style, freestyle, Greco-Roman. You mentioned halfway through high school you decided Greco all in. How important was that for you in your development?
That was everything. Put me a step above in the United States at least, and allows me to compete with the foreigners, because now I got the style where I can have my hips in. It's a completely different sport with Greco. And now when I'm wrestling these other guys, they've been wrestling Greco since they were 5-6 years old. And as I was developing, hitting puberty and stuff, I was only doing Greco. So it's pretty much ingrained in me. And yeah, I'm able to compete against these guys.
So you've made the move up to 87 kilos. What went into the decision to decide, go up to 87?
I was competing in the Thor Masters out in Denmark, and I was probably weighing about 87 kilos, and I was planning on going 77. I was like, man, I don't know about this. And then I was talking to my coaches. I was trying to lose weight. I got down to about 84. And I was like, I don't know. I think 87 might be the thing to do. Plus, I would come out to camps out here. I'd wrestle all the 87s. I'd do well against them, too. So I was like, why not? Plus, my training partner and one of my best friends, Benji Peak, he's at 77. So he's like an older brother to me, and we wanted to both make the team. So, yeah, it was a decision to go up.
Have you, throughout your career, have you mainly focused on cutting weight or mainly focused on going up? Was this a new thing, or have you kind of traditionally like to go up?
Earlier in my career, I'd say I used to cut a lot of weight, in high school and stuff. But then as I started growing a little bit, it was more just get your nutrition in and drink as much water as you can and try not to feel too bad. I hate cutting weight. I feel like it's a terrible thing for the sport. If you can get your nutrition in and you can be healthy out there, there's really no reason to cut more than 2 or 3 kilos. It's really no point, I feel like.
Yeah. So you went into the Olympic trials as a 9 seed, 8 seed? Somewhere there, right?
7 seed.
7 seed? 7 seed,
Yeah.
okay. So you go in as a 7 seed. Did you like your path through the bracket? Did you think this is good, this is where I want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. First round I had Richard Carlson. I've wrestled him before. I was pretty confident with that. Even though he's a 2 seed, I could take him. And then Bronigal ended up beating Provisor. I kind of wanted to wrestle Provisor just because he's made the Olympics twice, and I felt like I would have really earned an Olympic spot to go and beat him. But yeah, I like my matchup with Bronigal because he's more like folk style, and when guys lean over a little more, I feel like I have the advantage. And then I have Stefanowicz next, and yeah, it wasn't really thinking about beating anybody in particular. It was just survive in advance, make it to the next day, and then Spencer Woods in the finals. It was a great matchup, and I just came out on top.
Yeah, that's awesome. So since you've made that final, you're the Olympian. Has there been any part of the process of being an Olympian that's surprised you or that you didn't expect?
Just like all the recognition I've been getting. I mean, I've worked hard my whole life, I feel like, and I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Just supposed to go make the Olympics, and like to really get the recognition, I feel like I got to go win a medal, go win a gold medal, and yeah, just all the recognition I've been getting from my hometown, from Northern Michigan, from USA Rush, just everyone, like all this. I wasn't expecting any of this. It was just more just, all right, go make an Olympic team. Next, go win a medal, and yeah, I wasn't expecting any of, like, I wouldn't call it fame, but just like a little more recognition. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, is that something that you like? Is that something that that you feel like is a positive part of the experience?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I don't want to get too caught up in it because then it'll take my focus away from the real goal. But yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. I know Greco doesn't get as much recognition, rightfully so. We're not winning the gold medals. I think like freestyle's performing right now, so we got to start performing as well. And I think once that starts happening, we'll start getting that recognition across the United States at least.
Do you feel like this is a group that can go to Paris, win those medals, and start getting Greco back on people's radars?
Yeah, no, it's definitely got the potential for it. It's a matter of if we execute or not. I mean, I think we're all preparing in our own sense, and we'll be ready.
You mentioned Andy Bisek's name earlier. He's actually like on one of these photos in here, which is great. How much confidence do you take from training under a guy who's medaled at the World Championships a couple of times and who's accomplished a lot?
Yeah, he's a great coach. Not just wrestling wise, he's teaching me to be a better person in general, and helped me out through everything. And yeah, he's went through it all not too long ago too, so he knows what it's like. He's wrestled some of the guys that I'm wrestling, so yeah, he knows like the mental process, and it's not easy to go through all this training when everyone's putting all their time into you. But he's definitely a mentor and helps me out quite a bit.
Before we started, Kyle mentioned Walter Payton. That's who you're named after. What's the story there?
Yeah, so my mom grew up in Arlington Heights, and he lived in Arlington Heights, same neighborhood at the time. I guess for Halloween he would hand out footballs, and like all the kids would sprint to his house. Yeah, so my parents named me after him, so I'm like ingrained to be a Bears fan. They haven't been doing too good, but yeah. And he wasn't ever like the greatest player on the field. That's what my parents would say, but he was always like the hardest worker, and I kind of used that. He'd run those hills. Everyone knows that story, and I've been doing that a little bit because with Greco you need support with your legs, and yeah, so I've just been kind of using that, and yeah.
That's awesome. You got, I don't know, about a month, maybe a little less than a month before you compete. What's left to do between now and the Olympics?
Just a few things. Get in the best shape I can, mentally prepare, and just have a lot of fun. Have fun with the process, and just a few things I gotta dial in. Nothing too much drastic to change.
Is there any question that I haven't asked yet that I should have, that we should be talking about?
I would say with Greco maybe, just how it's not been performing as well. One thing I want to say is there's only one university in the United States that has Greco, and like we don't offer full rides or anything like that. Most we can get if it's 50%, so it's kind of hard to draw these athletes like Joel Adams, cadet world champ, Aiden Atali's bronze medalists, but they're getting money to go somewhere else, and I think that's part of the reason why Greco's not as good. It's because you need to specialize in Greco in order to really reach those high senior levels. But if we were somehow able to get more money with this university or more universities, more options, I think that would be a big step in the process. Like Otto Black too, he's going to Iowa now,
Yeah.
and he's getting money to go there, but like we don't have the money at Northern to pay for these guys, so it's kind of a difficult thing. But yeah, I just want to address that a little bit.
Yeah, more support for Greco for sure. Awesome, man. Well, Payton, excited for you. Anything else before I let you go? Anybody you want to shout out or thank? Or
Shout out to my family, my mom. Shout out my mom. She does everything. Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Payton.
Thank you.